All right, man. Jameson Williams is expected to be back at the practice. All right, so the Lions are getting healthy. They are getting healthy at the right time. Um, yeah. So they're getting healthy at the right time. My prayers go out to Wandale Robinson. Um, he tore his ACL yesterday versus the Lions. He was killing us too, dude. He was one of the guys that Brad Holmes was linked to in the draft process, and I think we kind of expected him to go about round 3, and he went round 2. But I think if they took Jameson Williams, I don't think he was a player at that point. So he went to round 3. If they really liked the player, I think they probably would have still took him. But prayers go out to Wandale Robinson. Uh, good receiver. Says Lions bracing for Jameson Williams NFL debut. He just got so much speed, man. So Detroit Lions have 3 days to cram their Thanksgiving showdown with the Buffalo Bills, which doesn't leave time for much else in these frantic days. But they still can't help but get excited by the awaits on the immediate horizon. The NFL debut of Jameson Williams. Quote: He's got so much speed, man. Jared Goff said Monday evening he got so much ability anyway that we can use him whenever that time is he comes back. It'll give us a boost some way somehow. However many snaps that he ends up being, however many balls he ends up catching, just having him on the field, having the ability to threaten people vertically and turn a 5-yard throw into a 60-yard gain, that type of stuff is dangerous. No doubt that among the most explosive players in the nation, Alabama last season, averaging more than 20 yards per catch, despite also being a volume shooter who racks up 1,572 yards in the season. He was the only player in the entire draft class to do so. He did it while playing at the best conference in college football. Now, now after a long wait for him to heal from the ACL, he tore in the national championship. The Lions have cleared their first round pick to begin practice. They have 21 days to look at Williams, although he could return sooner than that. Detroit hosts Jacksonville and Minnesota after Thanksgiving before heading back to New York to face the Jets. He said it may take some time for Williams to acclimate because he missed so much practice time, but he's been around so much at practice and meetings that he's already have a good grasp of the playbook. Whenever he's fit to see the field, Detroit could activate him because his speed will stretch defenses vertically in a way no one else can. He's just fast. He's just that fast. I know this. He can run. Head coach Dan Campbell said he can run. Either you got it or you don't. He's got it. So in that regard, he can help. Williams was clocked at more than 23 miles per hour in his long season at Alabama, which is faster than any player in the NFL this year. Seattle's running back Kenneth Walker currently leads the way at 22.09 miles per hour. Shout out to Kenneth Walker. So yeah, sure. He said there will be a learning curve as there's all those guys, Campbell said. But anything we ask him to do are going to be things we feel he does well, and we can help. He can help us with that. Also, will set him up to have success as well. So Lions won't have a full practice week, but the team activated him now anyway to give him the opportunity to start getting reps with the first team offense. He expects to run some routes with the other receivers as soon as Monday evening, hours after his activation from the non-football injury list. He said, quote, just wanted to get him involved, get him around, see where he can go with it, Campbell said. He's going to run some routes here in a minute. He and a few other receivers, we're going to let him run a little bit, have the ball thrown to him, and just get his legs up under him from a football aspect. So at the end of the day, I think Jacksonville I think Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville game. I think the Minnesota game or the New York game. And I don't know if you want to put them out there in the cold, but the thing about New York, they play on grass, so that might kind of be the ticket right there because New York plays on grass, and get them playing on grass, and you be like, well, how would they use them? I mean, you got a couple guys coming back. You got DJ Shark who didn't do nothing last week. He had one ball thrown to him So you got, I mean, it's an opportunity for him to get in there and do things. So, you know, I think you probably want to see him on that grass field, either Jacksonville or you probably gonna see him in New York first. You probably gonna see him on that grass field first and foremost. So if I was a bet man, so but his speed. I mean, everybody talking about stretching it, but going underneath, some receivers don't have a learning curve. I mean, believe it or not, the NFL is NCAA is tougher because they don't have a 5 yard chuck rule. You can beat up receivers all down the field. You know what I'm saying? You can beat up receivers all down the field. In the NFL, you can't do that. You gotta get your hands off of them after 5 yards. So I mean, there's been some guys that come in. Randy Moss. Which one was it from Baltimore? Mark Clayton or Michael Clayton, whichever it was. He had that one good season as a rookie. He never did shit else. But Charles Rogers had a good game. I mean, Anquan Bolden had a historic rookie year, I believe, as well. Um, so you're gonna see in some situations in where sometimes it's easy to acclimate. It's easier in the NFL. They can't touch you. But I mean, go one or two ways. You can ease them in there, be cautious with them, worry about the future, or he can hit the ground running and can't nobody do shit with him. A couple ways they can go other than that, but I mean, can't nobody do shit with him. I mean, then you gotta understand they're gonna play him on the slot, they're gonna play him, on the outside. I mean, how they plan to really use him. You know, my thought is Amon Ra worked the slot, he worked the slot, and Josh Reynolds kind of and Shark kind of bigger receivers on the outside, especially with Hawkinson type going. But I mean, they may look to get rid of Shark this year and get keep Reynolds and probably draft a bigger receiver somewhere or pick up a bigger receiver down the road next year. You know, especially if you don't have that tight end that you can really count on to go get them 50-50 balls. So, they might look to get maybe James Mitchell might fall into that category. You know what I'm saying? So he might fall into that. He might fall into that category. Honestly. So I mean, but yeah, when think about bigger receivers that people don't talk about, they shelf life is a little shorter. They football expectancy rate is shorter because they got a lot of body to hit. They got a lot of body to hit. So that's something to look at. But him and Amon Ross St. Brown, he only can help St. Brown. He only gonna help St. Brown, honestly. And then you just gotta look and say who's gonna be that guy that's probably get them 50-50 balls. I mean, you could keep Shark and Reynolds around. The price won't be expensive at all. Or you can look to draft somebody later on in the draft. But but they might have, if he stay healthy, they might have something working for them. Honestly, they might have something working for them, but it's gonna be interesting. But a lot of times the explosiveness was really hinged on DeAndre Swift and St. Brown coming in, and now you get a real explosive athlete that's more. If he get back to what he once was, in college, which he should. But now you get a real explosive athlete in Jameson Williams, and that's just gonna. I mean, then you gotta say, man, that's gonna make shit easier for Jamal Williams, and then you gotta ask yourself, do you go find a DeAndre Swift replacement next year, or get somebody prepped for Swift to get that explosiveness out the backfield? Then it's a different football team, especially James Mitchell. He's another explosive weapon out of Virginia Tech. So this offense get a little bit more explosive. So you got some other questions to answer around them in the offseason. which ain't necessarily, dire need, but you know, you keep Shark, you keep Reynolds around, you know, and then you say, do we give, I don't mind giving DeAndre Swift another shot, but if I got somebody in the draft that I like out the backfield, then you got to go ahead and in my opinion, you got to go ahead and pull that trigger. That's my opinion. You got to go ahead and pull that trigger. So, they getting more and more explosive. Um, he stay healthy and get his feet up under him. They gonna be explosive football team just from a team that didn't have a lot of explosive athletes that really relied on DeAndre Swift a ton to a team that you know might rely on Jameson Williams, St. Brown, Swift, James Mitchell, and maybe a couple other people. DJ Shark was another superior athlete that that we was supposed to have. He just couldn't catch the balls this season. So they got a couple questions to answer offensively. I mean, obviously the quarterback, that's a big one, but they got a couple questions that they got to answer offensively, but defensively, a lot of questions kind of lie there. But then again, that's hard to say, without getting some guys healthy. So they had to keep. They had some. Their defense would have remained healthy. You would have had a better defense and a better look at it, but it just didn't happen that way. But hey, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We go live or drop a video. Financially, want to support the channel? Cash App $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. All my social media links description. Check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. One time for the one time. Mercy Sports Talk. Peace.